I'm Mike Smith, and you're watching The Harbor. You know, one of my favorite things about Earth Day is that it starts a bigger conversation. We begin to look at our environment, look at our community, and see the ways that we can have an impact. Have you ever looked around the cafeteria after lunchtime? Or looked in the stands after a football game and just noticed all the trash lying around? You know, I don't think we understand the lasting impact we're having on our schools and in our own community. And I don't think we do it on purpose. I just don't think we're paying attention. I don't think we always pay attention to the environmental or social needs around us. It's like we almost expect someone else to take care of these things for us. I want to tell you a story about how I got immersed with the bigger picture. It was my freshman year of college. I grew up in a small little community. I moved to a big city. My first day of school, my college basketball coach, he kind of just asked what I wanted to study. What did I want to major in? And I told him I just wanted to help people. He looked at me and said, if you want to help people, you follow me. He took me underneath a bridge, and underneath this bridge was a community of just homeless people. Tons and tons of people just living in tents, sleeping on the ground, sleeping on tarps. And I looked around, and this wasn't something I'd seen before. This wasn't the world that I grew up around. And I looked at that and thought, how can I possibly have an impact? I struck up a conversation with one of the men that lived under the bridge, and he told me the thing that he needed most was socks. You know, I was confused. I didn't understand why he needed socks. But then he took off his boot, and I saw his feet. And his toenails were black, and his feet had completely rotted, and basically he'd been wearing the same pair of socks for months at a time, and that was when I realized how important even a pair of socks were. You know, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't even have that many socks, but I had access to socks because I played sports in college, and so I just took socks that I could get under the bridge and basically just started helping people. And it was under that bridge that I think my eyes opened and I became more aware. So now every time I go under an overpass, I can't help but look and pay attention to how many sleeping bags I see. Every homeless person I see on a street corner or I meet underneath a bridge, the first thing I do is look at their feet to see if they need new socks. You know, I call it my overpass awareness. It's like my eyes have been open to this concept of what do the homeless people in my community need and how can I help? You know, the other day I got to give something away as simple as a hot dog. I saw a homeless man and we were, you know, on a tour giving away hot dogs to homeless people, and I handed this man a hot dog, and it was just me and him, and said a couple words to him, told him I hope he has a great day, and I walked off. And when I got back in the bus, I turned and looked, and this man was standing there praying over this hot dog. And it wasn't a little thing. I mean, he stood there for a while and he prayed and he was just so thankful for something as simple as a hot dog. And it wasn't, you know, this earth-shattering thing that I gave away, but to him, it was world-changing. And it was in those moments that I realized how important it is just to give simple things away. You know, and it was a special thing that he and I shared. It wasn't this big, massive thing that we did. You know, I don't always get it right. The other day I went to throw away some trash from my car and I missed the dumpster. And as I was driving off, this man came out screaming at me, telling me not to, you know, throw trash in his community, that he lives here. And all I could say when I looked at the man was, I live here too. You know, I'm thankful that that man called me out. I'm thankful that my coach took me under a bridge and showed me where homeless people live. I'm grateful that they showed me that even doing something simple can have a big impact on my community. And I think for a lot of you guys, when you find that thing that you're passionate about, that thing that you believe in, and you want to have an impact on your community, a lot of times what happens is you get bummed because hundreds of people don't show up to help you. And oftentimes I've realized it's more important to serve your community with a couple close friends than it is to have a ton of people there. You know, sometimes we get disappointed in who doesn't show up. I think it's more important to be excited for who does. You know, I think it starts at home. Clean up after yourself. Don't expect your mom to do it for you. And when you're at school, pick up your trash in the cafeteria. Don't just expect your janitors to do it. And if you're at a football or a basketball game or a stadium, pick up after yourself. Around the community, if you see a homeless person, extend a helping hand. If there's trash on the side of the road, pick it up. And being socially aware of the needs in your community, that's your responsibility. No one else is going to do that for you.